Hey everybody, welcome back to the next episode of Tie Guy, the Sports Guy. I am Tie Guy, the Sports Guy. I am wearing today my old college baseball jersey. In the background today, I have the Texas Rangers blue. I got the Prince Fielder red. I got the St. Louis Cardinals green hat. Nolan Ryan with the greatest pitcher of all time, and Ken Griffey Jr. So that's what we got in the background today. So I am Tie Guy, the Sports Guy. Thank you for checking me out. Thank you for logging in, watching the whole video. Hopefully we all do that here. Please smash that like button, share, add, subscribe, do everything. Tell everyone about my show. We got a great show today on Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about some news and notes, some guys who are injured, some guys who are coming back from injury, and also a huge call-up for the Toronto Blue Jays. Next topic we're going to talk about is in the history of Major League Baseball. There's been 35 no-hitters, and we're going to talk about 5 guys who have accomplished that. What I mean by that, 35 no-hitters by multiple times, not just one time. So a big accomplishment for 35 guys who have played at the highest level. Next thing we're going to talk about is pitchers who have 2 starts this week. We're going to talk about the top tier because there are a lot of aces this week who are going on the hill twice. So it's a good rotation. If you're in fantasy baseball, it's a good time to have some of these aces on your staff. The next thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about teams who need to hit the trade market perfect this upcoming trading deadline and the reasons why they need to hit those. And the last thing we're going to talk about is the NFL news and notes. We're going to talk about a couple of QB dramas and also a receiver who wants out very, very badly of his current team. So, all right, now we know the topics. Now we know what's going on. Here we go. Let's rock and roll into the first segment. So the first segment we're going to talk about guys coming back on the DL, guys who are on the DL, give you some updates, and a very big call for the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll start right there. Alex Manoah for the Toronto Blue Jays is getting called up. He's going to play, he's going to start on Wednesday against the New York Yankees. So he's been absolutely dominating the minor leagues this year. So he is the right call up for the Toronto Blue Jays. If you watched the Blue Jays game or if you read any of the stats from yesterday's game, their starter just got lit up. So this is somebody who needs to come up. They need to improve their starting staff. And it's going to start with giving some of those guys in the AAA system a chance to try to get on the big club and see if they can fix that problem internally right now. A couple of updates for the injuries. Michael Conforto for the New York Mets and also Jeff McNeil for the New York Mets are going to be out till at least June with 2 bad hammies, 1 apiece, obviously. Starling Marte for the Miami Marlins is currently starting back up on a rehab assignment, so look for him to be back in the major leagues possibly in about 2 or 3 weeks. So they'll take him obviously very slow, coming back from a dislocated rib. That looked very painful. So hopefully he gets on the right track and he'll be with the big club sooner than later because they desperately need their center fielder back. So a couple guys who are back up in the major leagues is Derek Holland. He just got recalled the other day, and also Kirsten Herda. So both those guys got called back up. And then also, unfortunately, because Holland got back called up is because Wilson Ramos, the catcher, is back on the 10-day disabled list because of his back. He's been having a really bad back for the whole season, so he's kind of it's hard to say, but it just doesn't look like he's going to have a very productive year the rest of the year with the injury in the back and everything the catcher has to do, twisting and turning, throwing. And he might DH a little bit, but I mean, they already have Cabrera there, Miguel Cabrera, so it's going to be kind of a limited amount. So we'll see what happens, but that's going to be kind of an interesting way to watch here the rest of the way. So the next topic we're going to talk about is in the Major League Baseball. There's been 35 pitchers who've had multiple no-hitters, which is a phenomenal feat. If you have not looked up who the 35 hitters are, it's actually really cool to look up the history of it. I personally did not know a lot of this, so I kind of looked it up and just did a little bit of research and just looked at it. And I thought it was really cool. A lot of pitchers on there from like the olden days, baseball first started, the 20s, 30s. So it was really cool to see all the history on that. But some of the modern day guys we have, I'm just going to talk about 5 real quick, just give out 5 names. One of the guys is Warren Spahn. Next guy is Justin Verlander. Third one is Cy Young. The next one is Sandy Koufax, and the last one is the greatest pitcher of all time, in my personal opinion, Mr. Nolan Ryan. So that's 5 of the 35. If you want to check them out and see who else did it, there's a lot of cool research, a lot of big names on there for it. So it's a really nice baseball encyclopedia to see who the 35 guys were that threw at least 2 or more no-nos in their lifetime. So Next thing we're going to talk about is the pitchers who have 2 starts this week. There are a lot of aces going twice this week. There's a lot of guys, if you do fantasy baseball, who you're going to want this week on your team, who you're going to look forward to because they have some really nice matchups. A couple of them went last night, a couple of them start tonight. So, and then also there are some teammates on there too we're going to talk about. The first guy we're going to talk about for the Baltimore Orioles is John Means. He's got 2 starts this week. The first one is against Minnesota, which was last night, and then also he's got the next one against the Chicago White Sox. So that'll be very nice for him. The Minnesota matchup's a lot better for him than the White Sox. We'll see what happens with the White Sox. So I just think the White Sox have a deeper lineup personally, but so we'll see. So anyways, the next guy we're going to talk about, speaking of the White Sox, we're going straight to them. The next guy is Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn had his first start last night, and he went up against St. Louis, and also he's going to go up against Baltimore this week. And his teammate, Lucas Giolito, also has a 2-start week against the same opponents this week. So both of those guys are really good pitchers. John Means is a great pitcher too as well. So if you have any of those guys on your staff, you're very happy right now, and you're looking forward to having this 2-start week. Next team we're going to talk about is a pair of teammates again, and the Milwaukee Brewers. Brandon Woodruff and Corbin Burns both have 2 starts this week against San Diego and Washington. So those are 2 aces that are going to have multiple starts for you. So again, if you have them, you're very happy. And the last ace who's got 2 multiple starts this week is Jacob deGrom. He goes tonight against Colorado and then Sunday night against Atlanta. So if you're a Jacob deGrom owner, you're very happy with that right now. Next thing we're going to talk about are teams that need to hit the trade market this year and need to hit home runs. So these 6 teams, for different reasons, need to be on the trade market, and they need to get the right pieces for their future, whether they are stripping everything down or building up for this year and beyond. So the first team we're going to talk about is the Colorado Rockies. This is very obvious for the fact that they really don't have a direction that they're doing right now. They're not too sure where they're going, what they're doing. They traded away their best guy in Nolan Arenado this offseason to the St. Louis Cardinals for basically peanuts and packing solutions. So, I mean, it's really bad. So, but anyways, that's the old GM. He got his ass got canned for that reason. So now they got another huge piece in Trevor Story, who is not going to re-sign with them. We all know that. So we need to figure out where he's going to go. My personal landing space, I think that would make the most sense for them would be the Seattle Mariners, just because of the fact that he would give a nice piece to all those young guys who are coming up. He would take a lot of pressure off the young guys too by being the centerpiece in that lineup. So I think that might be a good place for him. Another good place I think would be the New York Yankees. So I think that those 2 places would be great landing spots for Trevor Story and good places for him to re-sign too as well. I just personally think Seattle makes the most sense having all their rookies come up. They have a lot of talent coming up through the pipeline too as well. So I'm really, really big on that. If that makes sense, it should if you look at the roster and see what they're doing. And now Seattle has traded and gotten younger over the years, especially that Robinson Cano trade that really kicked in their start to the rebuilding process. And in that league, they're in the Angels. They're not Angels and Rangers. They're not going to be anywhere on the top for quite a while. Houston's going to come back down too as well. Oakland's kind of stuck in mud. So really the next year or 2 years, Seattle could make a huge jump and a huge push to be the kings of the AL West. So it could definitely happen. On the flip side, we just talked about the Mariners. That was another team who needs to hit the trading deadline 100%. So, and the reason why is because they're a team that's coming up and up. So they just called up a couple of rookies. They're going to get better. They're getting younger. They have a couple guys in their minor league system right now who are absolutely crushing it. They're top 100 prospects. So with that being said, look for Seattle to be active at the trading deadline for the future and this year too as well. So they got some nice pieces where they can move, make a nice package, maybe get a nice player or 2 for the trade deadline that's going to help them this year and then in the future too as well. The next team we're going to talk about are the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's, like I said, they're stuck in mud. They're kind of like just treading water. They get hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. They need to figure out their direction. Either way, if they're in it or not. This year they need to absolutely crush the trading deadline, either get younger and better or get the pieces to make a playoff run this year. So we'll see where they're at with the standings, how close or how far they are away from the wild card for them to make their move. So, but one thing, if they do make a move, look for them to get the top tier starting pitcher because they definitely need another good on top of that rotation to really solidify what they have over there in Oakland. Another team we're going to talk about is the Cincinnati Reds for the fact that they last year basically went all in, didn't do anything, didn't get anywhere where they wanted to go. Lost Trevor Bauer, so right now they're thinking about trading Sonny Gray, it looks like, and maybe a couple other pieces, maybe Jesse Winkler too as well, their star outfielder. So we'll see what happens with all that. if the Reds are out, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to trade those guys and get a lot of young pieces left. We did mention Seattle. Seattle would be a nice place for a Winkler 2 to go if they can get the right deal to swing all that stuff as well. So we'll see what happens with everything. So I think Sonny Gray will be a nice addition to some team. I just mentioned the A's, so if the A's are in it, look for maybe him to have a reunion over there. That might be something that they might want to do with that. So just kind of wait and see how all that trickles down. The next team we're going to talk about is the Chicago Cubs. Usually I wouldn't have the Chicago Cubs on somebody who needs to hit the trading deadline, to the team. But this year they do. They're in a very awkward and unique situation with having 3 of their top dudes who are going to be free agents this year with Bryant, Rizzo, and Baez. So how they approach that, how they want to do that, it's up to them, management. If they're going to go in this year, give it one last hurrah, then it'll be interesting to see what pieces they trade away. It'll be extremely interesting to see what they do with Chris Bryant, with him, and how they're going to do his contract, because I don't think he's going to sign there. I think there's a lot of hurt feelings on both sides of everything that went on. Chris Bryant a couple of years ago had the arbitration case. He was trying to get 1 year further because of the rookie stuff, and he lost that, so he had to be 1 more year with the Cubs and kind of his free agency year 1 year earlier. But in retrospect, since he was hurt and it was a weird and wacky 2020, that was probably the best thing that could have happened for him. I mean, looking hindsight, at the time he probably didn't want that, but now, he's gonna be cashed in because he's playing the MVP caliber baseball that he was playing in 2016. So look for him to cash and look for him to just absolutely crush the rest of the year. And I think it'll be a great trade if the Cubs do decide to trade him. I think they can get a lot of pieces back for the future and just kind of rebuild and get some young core guys who are definitely going to help them this year and possibly in the future too as well. All right, so that's it for baseball. That's it for fantasy and real. So now we're just going to do a quick flip to the NFL news and notes. There's a couple different things. Just going to talk about a couple big names here. I mean, nothing to really sound alarms on, nothing really new or nothing really kind of shocking, but Deshaun Watson, we're going to talk about him. We all know his legal issues and everything that's going on, and if he's what's going to happen with all that. Obviously, that's number one, and we want to make sure that all that gets squared away before he gets traded or dealt. But Deshaun Watson has said that he is not playing again for the Houston Texans whatsoever. So now, with all the legal issues and now him saying this, it's a really weird situation, it's a sticky situation with him. So I don't know, just kind of wait and hold, I guess. And then also too, the MVP of the NFL, Aaron Rodgers, didn't show up to the Green Bay OTAs, which again, nobody expected him to. He's 37 years old, been in the league for 16 years. He doesn't need to show up to stuff like that. He's Aaron freaking Rodgers, so he'll do whatever he wants. And then right now, him and the Packers management are very at odds with everything. So apparently Aaron does not like the GM whatsoever. He does not appreciate or approve of what he's doing. He loves his teammates, loves the guys, loves the coaching staff. But it just sounds like to me they're at odds. I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know if you take the superstar franchise quarterback over the guy who has a vision, the GM who's trying to run the place. So it's kind of weird. And he still wants to be traded out. I mean, one thing that could happen, I don't know if it's going to, maybe the Packers and the Houston Texans make a trade. Maybe they just flip-flop quarterbacks, and then the Houston Texans take Rodgers and flip him somewhere else for picks and whatever else they can get for him. I don't know if that's a possibility. I don't know if something's going to happen, but just kind of a weird idea I had. So maybe flip those guys, and you can package Rodgers to another team and get multiple draft picks, which you need most severely, because I don't know if right now Deshaun Watson gets you all that back. So, but then if you trade Watson for Rodgers and all Watson stuff is once it's finalized in court, the Packers get a young quarterback who's just right up there with the talent that Rodgers has. Plus, he can run a little bit. So I don't know. That just kind of makes something that makes sense to me. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but just an idea. And the last thing we're going to talk about is Julio Jones. Julio Jones is done with Atlanta. He's out. He's basically out the door. Atlanta's got to trade him because now he's disgruntled. There's been rumors flying around that they were going to trade him at the draft for a first-round pick, which would have been awesome if that would have happened, but it didn't happen because he's 32. He only plays about half the games when he's in there. So, it's going to be hard to get a first-round pick for him. I personally think if they can get a 2 and a 3, I think that's a very fair deal, fair value. That he's on 32, 33 years old. And it's not because of his age. It's not because he's not talented. The dude's he's a top 5 talent in all the NFL for receivers. There's no doubt. He is a physical specimen. He is a freak. He can do anything. He's basically the modern day version of Megatron. So, just I don't know. So, but I just think whoever gets him, whatever NFL team gets him, just be prepared. Only have him play about half the games. At this stage of the game, he's probably like a 1A or 1B receiver, depending on who your number one is. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think there's about 31 other teams out in the NFL who would take him an absolute heartbeat. I mean, absolute heartbeat. So, I mean, if you just look around the league and you look and see who he would go to, and I'm just coming up with a couple of teams who it would be kind of disgusting, but it'd be awesome to watch him play. I think one would be for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that would be awesome to watch personally. Oh man, can you imagine him and Tyreek Hill on the same field? That would be absolutely just crazy. Another team that would be awesome to watch him on would be the Green Bay Packers. Him and Devontae Adams. That would just be absolutely just super scary to see what those two guys can do on the field, because they're both absolutely amazing at what they do, and they're just monsters. So on and off the field, they're just incredible. So those are two teams that come to my mind right off the bat. I think another team I think he'd be really good on would be the LA Rams. I think that'd be awesome to watch that, to see him. And then you have Stafford and then Woods and Kupp as a trio. I think that would be a lot of fun to watch too as well. And I think that would scare everybody. And the last team I'm going to say is I think the Seattle Seahawks. That would be a wonderful matchup with him and DK Metcalf, and also Tyler Lockett. That would be absolutely sick to watch. That would be awesome. And Russell Wilson would definitely be the chef. He'd definitely be cooking all day with those guys. So anyways, all right. So that's my video for the day. I'm just so glad you all stayed with me for everything. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the love. Thank you so much for the 6 people who have subscribed to me. Please let your friends know. Just let everybody know about this. I am Ty Guy, the sports guy. All sports, no BS, man. We're just gonna get right down to it. I love doing this stuff. I hope I helped you all out. Hopefully gave you some cool information. So anyways, thank you so much for checking me out. I really appreciate you all, guys. So today is Tuesday. Sorry, I'm looking at the date real quick. May 25th. So y'all have a wonderful Tuesday. Enjoy your day. Have a nice taco and tequila if you're over 21, or taco if you're under 21. So thank you all very much, guys and ladies. Have a wonderful day, and I will be back with my next video very soon. All right, I'm Ty Guy, the sports guy. Please, you guys, like, share, subscribe, please just spread the word about me. We're definitely on the up and up, guys. So, and girls, thank you so much. All right, everybody, have a great Tuesday. Take care and be safe. Thank you. Bye.